We have an Emmy Award winner right here on the set, and he is back in the role of Christine Baskets, which earned him that Emmy Award last year. Baskets Season 3 premiered yesterday on FX and airs every single Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, co-starring with Zach Galifianakis. Louie Anderson here on the show. Good to see you, sir.
Hey, Rich. How are you?
I am doing better for you being here. Thanks for coming in here today.
My pleasure. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm a huge sports fan, and, I'm licking my wounds from the playoffs. The Super Bowl is going to be in my hometown.
So close.
So close, but I'd
so
much rather
close.
have what happened than at the Super Bowl.
Interesting.
I do not want that. I do not want that to happen.
So
we'd rather give that up because we've had disappointment in the Super Bowl.
So because we had a poll question here just last week, Louie, after your Vikings did to the Saints what they did to the Saints, and after the Patriots did to the Titans what they did to the Titans, we asked, which way would you rather lose? Would you rather lose in the manner that the Vikings beat the Saints, where you were right into the end and you just get gutted, or would you rather just get blown out and not even have that sort of heartache and pain?
What was the deal?
I think everybody chose the awful way out.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They chose
the awful way because the other one's like your fault.
What do you?
Well, I mean, for a play to just happen,
Yes,
like it did with the Saints, the Saint guy. I feel sorry for them. They got to live with that until they can get that right.
True.
But the Vikings, it was just like a slow, like, hey, we lost the front line, we lost the flank, they took the ship. Are we even in this anymore?
It was awful,
and that must be the most disheartening thing. But I think that on a team like that, so really young in so many ways, the Vikings, with the quarterback that came in and really made the year, made everybody happy for the year. I think that this will be a real growth thing. I never learned anything by people saying, hey, great show. I only learned when I had a bad show. I think you only learn stuff when you have a difficulty. I think that's what makes you who you are.
So where were you watching that moment where the big Stephon Diggs 61-yarder from Case Keenum? What happened?
Here's the best thing. I live in Vegas, so I went and visited Marty Allen from Rossi, Allen and Rossi.
Like the old school comedian?
95 years old.
Get out of here.
Yeah, he was. He's recovering from a broken hip, which at 95 makes sense.
Right.
Great guy. I went and visited him. Then I went right back home and I watched it alone. Because I said, I don't want anyone jinxing me. I don't want anyone texting me. I don't want anybody bothering me. I did, and then of course, people,
because when something like that happens, now you want to share it, right? Now you want to make sure
if you win, then I'll go out and I'll tell her, I'll call everybody, I do all that stuff.
Right.
But if you lose, I just crawled into the bathtub like there was a storm coming and just laid. No, it's hard, because Vikings, don't always get any national respect. I don't know if you notice it, but they're not mentioned, Oh, yeah, Vikings are this too, by the way, in case you're wondering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But I felt like they were starting to get some, and they certainly played great defense. Hey, here's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
You're either prepared for something or it overwhelms you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's true in life. I remember my second Tonight Show. I thought it would go as good as the first Tonight Show, but I didn't count the adrenaline and everything. The second one, I go, oh my God! Even though it was good, they loved it. I felt like, oh, I don't think I was prepared for that.
Now, Johnny Carson personally invited you to come on, or he saw you, or
well, what
happened?
happens is there's talent coordinators.
Right.
Like there must be people who bring you guests, and you go, no. And no, I said no to that guy and forget it.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, and then you have people who go out, they see the comedians in the clubs, and that's what happened with me. And I auditioned several times, and I finally got on. It was a life goal of mine, a dream come true, and it was
kid from Minnesota out there.
That's right, from the projects in Minnesota. So I was really I felt really like I scored.
So you grew up in the projects of Minnesota.
I grew up in the projects in Minnesota, which are a little different than everywhere else. We have lawns. People shovel their walks. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, I mean, it really was, different. It was like there was troubles, but it wasn't,
Sure.
It wasn't like It wasn't it didn't feel dangerous living there.
Sure. I want to take
except with my dad.
Except with your dad. Well, I mean, you were one of 11 kids, right?
I was. Yeah.
And now
I was 10th of 11.
And now you're playing your mom essentially on television, right?
I know. What a great irony, huh?
Winning an Emmy Award for it too. I want to take a 60-second break, come back, talk a little bit about that, and then Jack Morris is going in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And we do have a contest where we're coming up with what's the greatest Minnesota icon ever. Who is the greatest Minnesota icon ever?
Let's do it. I got it.
Well, it's sort of
I got mine.
It's sort of, well, you got yours, I'm sure, off the top of your head, but I want you to help us work through our bracket here that we've got going on.
All right, I'll see what I can do. There are other people who are more, but I'm pretty.
No. You wait till you hear wait till you hear the matchups.
All right.
Okay, that's next in 60 seconds with Louie Anderson here on the Rich Eisen Show. Welcome back to the show. The 60 seconds we were gone, Louie Anderson made a joke about AT&T, right?
Well, AT&T,
our home here.
Yeah, it's beautiful in here.
Love them.
I have AT&T since the very early. I have unlimited data.
That's
how old it is. But I can't use it up. I got nothing to do. What am I going to do? I can only take so many selfies, Rich.
Well, maybe... Well, maybe you're downloading all the videos of Draymond Green, who you just saw highlights of.
Please. I mean, I love Steve Kerr, and the Warriors are great, but I'm a Minnesota Timberwolves fan. Come on.
You got to be fired up about what's going on with them.
I love it. And as long as Tibbs doesn't kill all the players, he reminds me of my gym teacher. Take another lap, Anderson. Let's go. The gym teacher used to torture me. I go, why am I taking another lap? One lap should count as 3 laps when you're fat.
Coach Tibbs is a taskmaster.
He is. I always felt like, I shouldn't say this, but was he the person who, Derrick Rose, it was just too much for him? Because you only have so many jumps. You only have so many runs, I think.
Yes.
Look at all the great players. You only have so many. And once they're out, Father Time catches up. You're done for.
There is no unlimited plan.
There is no unlimited Rich. AT&T.
I'm just a homer, man. I'm just a homer.
Well, yeah.
Did you ever see games in the old Metrodome? Did you ever?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Old Twins games and things like that.
The old Twins games. The Humpty Dome, we called it.
The Humpty
Hubert
Dome.
Humphrey Metrodome.
Sure.
I saw the last game there.
No kidding.
Yeah, the last game with I was in, that's the greatest thing about being a little successful. Mm-hmm. I sat in with the Twins, Smalley, Herbeck, all those guys. Then I went in the boxes. Rod Carew, Tony Oliva, Harmon. I got pictures with all those guys. These are people my dad and I, we didn't do much, but we did watch Twins baseball. Mm-hmm. And so it was really a thrill for me. And Harmon and Smalley, did a benefit. Harmon became someone I talked to a lot. He's a friend, and I loved Harmon. And he does a beautiful thing. His organization, mm-hmm. He builds rubber ball fields for kids with disabilities, so they can run and play and not get hurt.
Did not know that.
And this is this guy, one of the greatest hitters of all time.
Yeah. So is Carew too.
Carew. And I have that picture too. These are big things for me as a kid from St. Paul.
Big kids for everybody, and big things for everybody. I do believe that is the first mention in the 3.5-year or almost 4-year history of the show of Roy Smalley. I've not heard that.
Roy Smalley he's a great player. I really enjoyed. I have to be honest with you. During the series, mm-hmm. I happened to go to one of the games because of how great FX is. I got to go to one of the playoff and one of the World Series, and I loved the stuff they were doing, with all the play-by-play in all the different places. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it. I love seeing those players. I love seeing the real, I like when they can just not worry about their legacy and just say what they really mean.
We'll talk baskets in a second here with Louie Anderson, again, Emmy Award winner twice, a daytime Emmy Award winner for your show Life with Louie, which was great. And I do want to ask you about a couple of movies that you were in way back in the day. You were in Ferris Bueller's Day Off as the flower delivery guy.
John Hughes was a fan of mine, so he just plucked a little piece and gave it to me as a part. I wasn't a very good actor at that time, but now I feel like I've come into my own. So, but I had a lot of fun doing that. I loved it. I was a good actor, but I'd get nervous in the auditions.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm a comic, I depend on jokes, and I used to get nervous in the auditions.
Well, you passed the audition for Coming to America, working at McDowell's as well. What was it like being on the set of that movie?
That was so much fun. John Landis, one of the best comedy directors of all time. Eddie Murphy, one of the greatest comedians and actors of all time. Arsenio Hall.
That's right.
Arsenio was there. All the stars.
John Amos.
McDowell
himself.
Yes. Darth Vader was in there. Played the father, the father of the whole.
Yeah, James Earl Jones.
And then, what's his name, who robbed me? Samuel L. Jackson. He robs me. And that was a great scene. And, that movie got, that was such an iconic movie. And, I heard, I can't say who told me, but that the second one's definitely going to happen.
No kidding.
Yeah.
A Coming to America 2?
Yeah.
Are you still working at McDowell's?
I hope I still have the same job. That's what I was hoping for. Because to me, that would be the funny part. I haven't progressed.
Well,
that
maybe assistant manager at least. Like, let's get you a little bump in pay here,
maybe, but it would be really funny if I was still so gung-ho.
And Samuel Jackson's robbing you still.
No, he should be working next to me. That would be good.
So you were workshopping it.
Yeah.
So let's talk baskets here. What a fun show, and you were awesome in it.
Thank you.
Are you playing your mom, essentially?
I'm playing a combination of 5 sisters, my mom, and every probably mom I ever met in the Midwest and throughout my life. My mom was I have a book coming out called Hey Mom. Mm-hmm. You can go to louiebook.com and find out all about it, get a special advance copy, but autographed. And but my mom raised 11 children, and my dad was an alcoholic, so she defiantly stood in between him and us so that we were protected. And she was just an awesome person and so funny and lots of things. And so I kind of steal some of her looks, nuances. But Jonathan Kreisel and Zach Galifianakis, they help guide me into this part. Jonathan Kreisel from Portlandia and many, many other things. And so this has been like such a great growth thing for me and such a great experience.
Yeah, I was going to ask you when you're pitched to say, okay, we'd like you to play a woman.
Yeah.
And it's not a transgender or somebody who's transitioning. You're just playing a woman. And
well, I was doing my mom in my act for years.
Sure.
I would do the voice. Mm-hmm. And when they said, would you do a character? I said, yeah. And then they said, would you play Zach's mom? And I go, yes, finally.
Yeah.
Because it's so much fun to have a challenge like that. But you know what the greatest thing is that I think I just play it as a real human being. For me, that's the best part. I don't try to cartoon it up. I'm playing a real. I act like I'm their mother, and I believe in that. When I'm there, I play that character to the fullest.
Well, it's hilarious, and it's human, and they don't just hand out Emmy Awards for nothing. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. I saw yours in the dressing room.
Well, that's from 1996.
Doesn't matter. Nobody says this is from 1996.
When I was one of 40 Sports Center anchors.
Oh, listen, I don't care what they say. You have your show. They don't. So.
Scoreboard. Is that what you say? I should just point and just say scoreboard.
I would have the Emmy here holding up something.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
If we get one specifically for the show.
I hope you get one. You deserve one.
Then we will create a new leg for the table.
If you had more people like me on, you'd probably get one.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Well, this is the first of many times. Hopefully you're coming here.
You want to come back tomorrow? Okay. What are you doing tomorrow?
I'm out of town.
Before I let you go, speaking of baskets in a way, so normally this is associated with NCAA basketball tournament action.
Oh, the bracket.
We have created a bracket, seeded people 1 through 16 for the greatest Minnesota icon ever in advance of us going to Minneapolis next week.
Let's hear what you have.
Okay, so we have in today's Golden Gopher region. Okay. And I'd like to help you. We're going to unveil this for the first time, and you can vote on this, Louie Anderson. The 3rd seed is Jack Morris against the 14 seed F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Oh, well, I like what you're doing. I like what you're doing.
This is where we're going.
I've driven by the place he lived many a time growing up.
So as you know, he's an all-time great Minnesotan. And like Jack Morris, he got stronger as the riding grew longer as well. You know what I mean?
It's true. It's true.
Who would you choose to advance in the 3 and 14 seed, Louie Anderson?
Jack Morris. I mean, I love Scott Fitzgerald, but he never really played.
Okay. So the Great Gatsby is out. Jack Morris is through to the second round. And then the 6-11 game, the 6-seeded Paul Molitor against the 11th-seeded Jessica Lange.
Oh, man, because I heard
winner.
that she could throw a ball.
Well, it's not just this is just we're not saying this is it's got to be like one-on-one. Like if Molitor, if she threw a pitch to Molitor, would he rake it down the right field line? It's just in general. Like,
all right.
I mean, she's won Oscars, Emmys, a Tony.
I got to go with Jessica Lange on this one.
Jessica Lange with the first upset of the tournament so far. So you're going to post this on our Twitter feed, right?
Posting it right now.
Okay. So Jack beats F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Yeah, I mean, just for me, because, I just think, I got to go there.
And when we come...
Jessica, she's such an icon.
She is an icon.
She's still working, and I love all that stuff.
Isn't she on an FX show, too? Yeah. See? It's synergy. She's on The Feud.
And...
It's synergy. It's
she was
FX
great
synergy.
in The Feud, too. She was really great.
And hey, she's
I
hosted Feud.
I hosted The Feud. Survey says, Jessica Lange! Who knew that was going to be there? Oh, man.
Top 5 answers are on the board. Here's your question. Great to see you, Louie.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on here. At Louie Anderson on Twitter. Check out Baskets every single Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time.
The Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.